Hello, family. Welcome back to another episode of Oh to Be Whole. Yes, it must be Thursday because I'm right back here with you on today. Thank you for joining me. Holy Rollers, y'all hanging in there with me. Love you, love you. All my new viewers, thank you for being here on today. Yes, so for those of you who have been watching and you hadn't yet subscribed, go ahead and push that subscribe button. And then, something that I haven't been saying, hit that little bell, that notification bell, because that lets you know, when I have posted another video. So when you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button so you can be alerted when I've dropped another video. So thank you again for being here. Be sure to share, be sure to like, and be sure to comment. Man, I'm loving this back and forth with you guys. I just really enjoy engaging with you. So thank you for being here on today. And we're going to dive right on in with our topic for today. Today's topic is cold turkey. Cold turkey. Leave him or her alone. Shut that door. Yeah, that's kind of long. It's a long topic, but I'm trying to get a point across on today. It's called cold turkey. Leave him or her alone. Shut that door. So cold turkey is one of those things, where it's really hard but necessary if you're trying to kick a bad habit. If you're trying to kick a really, really bad habit, cold turkey is one of the methods of doing that. We normally hear the term cold turkey, when somebody is trying to move past some form of a drug addiction. If someone is on is a heroin addict or, crack addict or an alcoholic, they say that you just got to completely, rid yourself of anything so that your body can get rid of all of those toxins from the drug use so that you can start back at square one. And that's that cold turkey process. So before I go into the relationship part of the cold turkey, I want to make sure I help you understand, because some of you may be saying, well, I'm not in a relationship where I need to end it, where I need to go cold turkey. But cold turkey is not only for relationships, even though that's what we're going to talk about today. I just want, for those of you who may be watching that may not necessarily be in a relationship that you're thinking about ending, you can go cold turkey on anything, not just drugs, not just a relationship, but overeating. The United States is an obese country, so it's a lot of people who are overeating who needs to go to cold turkey on the intake that they take in every day with their food. Excuse me. You're spending, you may need to pull back and reel in the amount of money that you're spending on a daily or weekly or monthly basis. You may be overspending. Promiscuity, that's self-explanatory. You don't need to be giving yourself to all these different people because you feel like it. You may need to go cold turkey on that. And then pornography, that's another thing. Pornography is a really, really big industry, and some people have become addicted to that. And maybe you need to, you got to stop watching it altogether. It's not healthy anyway. It's not healthy to watch pornography. And you may need to just completely take it out of your life, not little by little. But cold turkey means you go from 100 to 0. All right, so this can still be applicable to you, even though you may not be in a relationship. But so I just wanted to touch on y'all who may be trying to end the video. Well, I ain't in a relationship, so this video don't apply to me. Yes, it does. It does apply to you. Okay. But again, we're going to talk about cold turkey as it relates to a relationship, and a relationship that needs to end. And you've got to admit that there are some relationships that don't need another chance. That don't need another chance. And if you're honest, probably in that relationship, you've probably already given 5, 10, 20, even 100 times or 100 chances for this person to correct whatever is going on, or adjust or change what's going on. But now you're at a point where you've reached your limit. When you get to a place where you're considering cold turkey, you've reached your limit. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean that any level of abuse may be happening. Okay, but there is a hurdle, or there are hurdles that can't seem to be resolved or overcome in that relationship. So cold turkey is one of those extreme measures to get someone or something out of your system. So for me, I'm a cold turkey chick because I'm pretty black and white. I'm either all in or I'm all out, one of those things. And so cold turkey has worked really, really well for me in the past. And I'm not saying that it's been easy. It's never easy. But it has worked well for me when I'm trying to move on from a relationship. So what does cold turkey look like? Okay. When I've gone through cold turkey and ending a relationship, you're like, this is it. I can't do no more. I've gone as far as to block the person's number. I've done that. Absolutely, I've done that. I have not had any contact with their family, especially if it's somebody that I may see or talk to on a regular basis, or their mom, or, a cousin or sibling. I cut off all contact with those mutual friends, especially if it was their friend. If it's a friend that I acquired as a result of that relationship, I have to cut that off. I don't accept any advances or any gifts or anything like that. Because again, I'm going cold turkey. I'm trying to move on. I'm trying to get you out of my system. So I can't be accepting gifts and, you calling and wanting to do this and do that. No. You blocked anyway, so you ain't calling me. You might be trying to call my job or call a sibling, one of the family members trying to get to me. But I reject all that. And then I avoid regularly mutually visited locations, such as like church or the gym or restaurants. And I know that may seem extreme, and I recognize that, but for me, if I know that I'm deep in something, but I know that it has to end, those are the extreme measures that I feel like I have to take in order to be able to move on from that person. And then I also begin to replace the time that I may have been spending with that person. I replace it with different activities, whether it's getting back in the gym, or going more regularly to the gym, or engaging with family a little more, or pushing myself in a business or a job a little more, digging a little deeply with those things, or cleaning this house. Just doing, allowing myself, filling that time, or just doing things on my own that I was maybe used to doing with that person. Those things are, that's what you have to do. You have to fill your time, because the more idle you are, the more likely you are to give in. And that person, you've probably been with them long enough where they know what buttons to push with you to get you, to reel you back in. And I recognize that. I mean, I'm a hopeless romantic. I believe in love. I do believe in giving people chances, because nobody's perfect, blah, 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 blah. But when I've reached my limit, it ain't no more chances. It's over. It's over. So those are some of the extreme measures that I have chosen to take, when I am trying to go cold turkey. And then I also, I have been guilty of this, which is why I have to go cold turkey. Many times when you break from a relationship, you say things like, well, we can still be friends. I can't do it. If I care about you, if I love you, I can't be your friend. Not off the bat. Maybe later on down the line when you're out of my system, or, where I don't have that emotional connection with you, maybe we can, be cool. We may not ever be friends in the true sense of friends, but we can be, very cordial and, maybe interact with one another. But I know for me, I cannot be friends with a person that I feel connected to and attracted to, that I'm trying to move forward on. So, sometimes it just has to be a hard break. Sometimes it just, you have to be a hard break, and the other person may not understand. They may not like it. They may call you names, mean, or like, you being cold-hearted, and maybe so. But I have to do what's best for me. When I know the relationship is over and I can't take anymore, and that's it, I got to do what's best for me, because you know what? They're going to do what's best for them. They're going to do what's best for them in a situation. So you better look out for yourself. So the friendship thing, not so much. All right. Most people are not able to do cold turkey because it's really, really hard. It really is hard. It's hard because, as I said before, you know, you have that physical, sometimes sexual, mental, and emotional connection. And not to mention also the time that may have been spent. You know, if you've been with a person more than a year, you know, God forbid, 10, 15 years, it's hard to just break away from that because you spent so much time with that person. And even during that time, you tend to remember the good times more than you do the bad times. And that really is what reels us back in if we choose not to go cold turkey in the relationship. And, you know, I think cold turkey is a discipline, you know, in many instances, but it's necessary. You have to be disciplined in your mind. You have to have made a decision. You know, you have to be at a point where it's like, you know, this is it. I ain't going back. This is it. And again, I'm not necessarily talking about marital relationships because there are so many other things that are involved, you know, when you're talking about a marital relationship. You know, it could be children, it could be property, you know, it could be businesses. All of those things are intertwined and interconnected. So, I mean, you can go cold turkey, but I'm really talking more so to my single people, you know, people who are dating in dating relationships about the cold turkey. You really have to, I want to separate that because some of you, you know, you may be married and you're watching me. Now, you may need to go cold turkey on some stuff. I'm going to say that. But I'm more so targeting, you know, singles and those who are dating when it comes to this topic. But it is a discipline, and you have to have a made up mind, and you already have to have a strategy. You got to have a strategy. You can't just go cold turkey and think, oh, I'm good. Not if you really cared about the person. No, you have to have a strategy behind what you're doing. And then you have to look at your life and look at your relationship and say, is it time for me to move on? Okay? Is it time for me to move on for good? And that can be really a harsh reality because you don't know what the future holds. You know, not to say that this person was a bad person. They may not be a bad person, but you don't, you know, so you may want to hold on to them just because, you know, they got some good qualities. But not knowing the future can sometimes be a little scary, especially as you get older. It's like, well, dang, will I find somebody else? Will there be somebody else? But you cannot. When you're going cold turkey, you have to relieve your mind of that thought. You have to relieve your mind of that thought. And, you know, that means that, you know, yes, you'll have a lot of extra time on your hand, especially if you all dated regularly, meaning went out on dates, did things together, you know, with each other's families, you know, whatever, traveled together, have similar interests, you know, so you did things together. You know, now your time is empty, and you're not able to be a part and take part in those things that you normally would with that person, and that time is no longer filled. And so you go through those withdrawals. I mean, cold turkey, when you think about, I think about Ray. The movie Ray with Jamie Foxx, you know, when he did Ray Charles, when he was getting off of heroin and he began to go through those withdrawals and his physical body was actually just in pain. And he went through that for, I think, several days, if not over a week, to try to get that out of his system. And he didn't use any methadone. And for some people, you have to, you know, if you're on heroin or whatever, you may have to use methadone to, you know, come off that. But he chose to go cold turkey because he wanted it out of his system. He made a decision that he no longer wanted to be addicted to heroin. And that it's a similar reaction. You know, when you have these ties with a person, your body goes through withdrawals, your emotions go through withdrawals, your mind goes through those painful withdrawals many times, which makes it hard for you to get over the hump, you know, to get to the other side and saying, man, how am I going to make it, you know, not having this person in my life any longer. But at the end of the day, you have to recognize that you have to move forward. Okay, you have to move forward. And here are some reasons why you may have to go cold turkey in response to a relationship. Okay, abuse. If there is any form of abuse going on, look, you got to end that. There's no question about that. You have to end it. If you're just tired emotionally, you're emotionally drained, just like you're almost in a depression by staying in the relationship. You're consistently sad and unhappy. You're suffering spiritually. You know, there's a loss of hope. There's a loss of faith. You know, those things happen, you know, and those are things that help you to realize, hey, this is not healthy for me. I need to remove myself from this relationship. You know, there maybe have been repeated instances of infidelity or dishonesty. So the trust has been lost. You've requested changes that are not being made. You know, those changes are not happening. Or you just know that it's not a good match. You know, he's a good guy or she's a good girl, or, you know, but we're just not really a good match. And so when you really evaluate those things, really ask yourself, do I need to go cold turkey? Do I really need to end this thing for good? You know, we've been on this roller coaster 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 8 years, you know, whatever, however long. And you still can't seem to get, you know, where you want with that person. It may be time for you to do a hard break and go cold turkey. So understanding that going cold turkey is challenging. It is difficult. You will have those moments of where you want to go back, where you want to hear from them. You'll hear a song. You know, you'll be a part of some activity that's happening that you all would normally engage in. And those times do come. Those feelings do come. But again, cold turkey is one of those things where you've just reached your end. You've reached your end, and that you have to move on. And when you choose to go cold turkey, you know, deep down inside, you have to know that there is something better. You've got to know that there's something better. That's the reason you're having to go cold turkey, because what you've been dealing with has not been what you want. It hasn't been what you want. So you got to know deep down inside, there is something better. That may have been okay, but there's something better. And many times the deeper the love, the longer you stay, the harder it is to leave, the harder it is to end it. But you can't get caught there. You can't get caught there. Look at your relationship. Or, you know, or if you're not in a relationship, you know, look at your life. You know, is there something that you need to go cold turkey on? Is there something that you really need to end in your life? You know, as I said, for me, it has worked for me 100% of the time. When I've had to go cold turkey on certain things, particularly talking about relationships, it was hard, yes, but it was necessary, and I got through it. And when I just finally decided that it was over, you know, that was it, there was no looking back. Why? Because I had already given multiple chances. I had already given plenty opportunities for this situation to get better, for this situation to change, for things to get right. And again, all the blame may not go on that other person, but at the end of the day, you got to make a decision for yourself and say, I got to do this for me. It's not about the other person. You know, I've got to move on for me. So I want you to think about it and ask yourself, where am I? Where am I? What do I need to do regarding this relationship that I'm in? Or if it's not a relationship, what do I need to go cold turkey on in my life? Okay. All right. Well, that's a wrap for today's session. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you. I just hope and pray that this was helpful to you. You know, life is hard and, you know, relationships are important, but some relationships you just, you know, you can't force it. So I just hope that this has encouraged you and maybe brought you to a place of where you feel like you need to maybe make some changes and go cold turkey and shut that door in your life. Okay. Thank you so much for watching Oh to Behold with Camille Young. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, share, and comment. And if you would like some support around coaching in your relationship, anything like that, please reach out to me at ohtobewhole@gmail.com. That's ohtobewhole@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, God bless.